It's been a while. A kind of funny trailer reaction.
I know.
I'm feeling this right now. Welcome back. Of course, I am Tim Geddes, and I'm joined by Barrett Courtney. Why?
An Ahsoka trailer dropped?
Oh,
it seems
man.
like a lot of movie stuff and like entertainment stuff is dropping today, and I just wasn't prepared for any of it. But
Not
I'm
at all.
excited. It has been a while since we've been here like on the trailer react set, and I think the last time we did a trailer reacts maybe it was a Zelda thing, but for movie stuff and entertainment stuff, it was the very first Ahsoka trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we had to reunite here. There's been a lot of trailers happening. Like, Summer Game Fest kind of took over, so we were a little too busy to cover all of the trailers dropping. But yeah, some are dropping now that unfortunately we will not be reacting to. So Blue Beetle and Wonka and a couple of other things out
Pulling
there.
for Wonka, man.
Yeah.
I have it drafted in our fantasy movie league for the Next Gen podcast.
I'm pretty hit or miss on it.
Yeah?
Like it could work.
Yeah, I haven't watched
My
the trailer
boy-
yet, and I drafted it like knowing very little, just that the director of Paddington is directing that, and
Chalamet, man.
Timothy Chalamet, he's picking the right project. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you know we've got our Oompa Loompa with Hugh Jackman there, which you can do no wrong with.
Not Hugh Jackman.
No,
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Oh.
Did you see the trailer?
No, I haven't watched the trailer yet.
Okay, gotcha. I was like,
Okay.
that is not Hugh Jackman, my guy.
Oh shit! Why did I think it
Hugh
was
Jackman, though. Wolverine, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does look good. He does
Yeah.
look good in that
I-
classic yellow.
How bright yellow it is. It's my favorite thing in the world. But yeah, we're here to talk about Star Wars. If you guys didn't know, the Kind of Funny screencast happens all the time. Right now, we're doing breakdowns week to week for Secret Invasion. So you can check all that out on youtube.com/kindoffunny and searching your favorite podcast service for Kind of Funny screencast. And we'll be right there for you for all of your needs. And once that's over, I think there might be like a couple week gap, but then we're getting pretty right into it with Ahsoka.
I know. I'm excited to have the full crew back
Yeah.
for Ahsoka. That's going to be exciting. Just to be fully back into Star Wars. Like I feel like even with Jedi Survivor a little bit, like I wasn't fully delved into the Star Wars universe. Like I was with like Mando or like Andor, right? To have it like kind of in my life weekly for a couple months. I'm really excited and I'm like ready for that again. I've been doing my homework, rewatching Star Wars Rebels.
For the umpteenth time?
Yeah, for the umpteenth time. Just to get refreshed on characters and like weird little lore things that may or may not come back. And so, yeah, I'm like very early into season 2 right now to catch up in a month and a half. Where are you at, Tim? Because Star Wars Rebels has been a slow journey for
It has.
you,
A good
but
one, though.
you got through the first 2 seasons, I
Yes.
believe. Okay.
Yeah, I'm halfway through season 3.
Okay.
So I'm making some progress. I'm going to be good by the time Ahsoka comes out with its 2-part premiere. We're getting 2 episodes. on the first day.
Oh, exciting!
I
8
will
episodes
be-
total, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as I remember. But yeah, I'll be fully caught up by then. And yeah, Carboni and Sage will be joining us for as many of the episodes as they can. I'm
Right.
hopeful that for Ahsoka, we're going to be able to have a perfect run.
Oh, yeah.
But putting that out in the world right now, we'll have to wait and see. You can get all of this over on patreon.com/kindoffunny ad-free. You get a whole bunch of bonus content. You can support all the cool things that we're doing here, just like our Patreon producers, James Hastings, Casey Andrew, and Nathan Lamoth have done. Today, we're brought to you by Bird Dogs, but I'll tell you all about that later. I want to talk about what you just brought up for a second more, the Jedi Survivor thing. I feel like that was the most into Star Wars I've been in a while.
Yeah.
Like, there's something about Andor where I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like Star Wars, though. Not in bad ways.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean that to incite of a fucking war.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
no,
the
yeah.
way that, like,
there's a tonal and cinematography feel to it that is very, even more outside of like Rogue One, which also at the time felt a bit different.
I just felt like watching Andor, I was obsessed with it, and to this day am obsessed. But I think about my time watching that more similarly to my time watching Succession or Severance or The Bear, something like that, where I'm like, oh, this is just a quality ass show that happens to be Star Wars.
Yeah.
Then watching Mando season 3, that's a little bit more into the Star Wars thing. And Mando season 3 had some highs, had some lows.
Yeah.
It was what it was. But I love Jedi Survivor, and that 2-week period of me playing, I was like, this is what I love about Star Wars.
Yeah, definitely. Like the universe there was definitely fun to explore around in with all those big planets. For me, it was just like the story and stuff was a little less sold on me at the end of the day. I still really enjoyed it, but again, I think it's less because of like the quality of the content and just like having the content like regularly, like every week. Whereas, yeah, I binged through Jedi Survivor and like, a week and a half or something, and then just like have it and like platinumed it in like 2 weeks or something like that. So after that, I was just kind of out of the Star Wars universe again. So
well, we're about to get back in it in a major way. This is essentially Rebels season 5.
Yeah,
right?
that's what the here. I think someone was saying that Filoni kind of refers to this as Star Wars Rebels season 5, so that's why I'm really excited for it. Star Wars Rebels is like one of my favorite Star Wars stories told in the current canon.
I mean, the thing that I find very interesting is that anybody that's seen Rebels says that. Like, I can't think of anybody I know that has seen all of Rebels that doesn't put it in their top tier. It might not be their number one favorite Star Wars thing, but it's top 3 for literally anyone I know that has watched it. So,
and honestly, it's to sell y'all a little bit on Rebels in case you're interested in Ahsoka but haven't checked out Rebels yet. Obviously, it's on Disney Plus. But what it does, I think, is bring back the tone of the original trilogy without trying to do just the original trilogy again. You have your coming of age hero in Ezra, who is very similar to what I imagine like a younger Luke would be, a little bit more scoundrelly. He's been living on the streets and stuff as a kid, but you have like the kind of core crew who comes together of like the young kid, the Jedi master, the cool pilot, and now in this one, like a sick tech Mandalorian, and then you've got your Chewbacca and Zeb, and then your goofy little droid unit with Chopper, and so I don't know, it brings a lot of that original trilogy feel to it, while also expanding on a lot of stuff that in the Filoni era a lot of fans have been very interested in, and I won't say anything specific, but of like what the height can bring of that show with the end of season 2, right? That like gives you such a major gut punch, similarly to Empire Strikes Back and the end of that, and like where do our heroes go from here without trying to just do Empire again in really cool ways. So
I mean, dude, I'm so sold on it, and like it's rough for me where sometimes I don't love some of the cartoon stuff as much as live action stuff.
It's definitely a kid show.
I don't love live action as much
like,
as the cartoon stuff. So
and it was definitely like it was like the first, I think, official like Disney product in the era of Star Wars. It was on Disney XD back in the day. So it definitely, some of the week to week weekly adventure stuff feels a little bit more geared towards a younger audience, but I think the overall plot, though, I
feel like we almost say that too much. Like now that I've actually watched it, compared to watching as much as I have of Clone Wars, which I feel like is a lot more kiddie in a lot of ways, the side adventures and things like that, I actually feel like Rebels, like a common take on it is like, yo, the end of season 2 is amazing. Season 1's a little kiddier. We're gonna get there. I don't think that it's that distractingly kiddie that it's an issue. Like I feel like it's almost not even worth bringing up. Like season 1's not as good as season 2, but like I don't think that it's like, oh, get through season 1. It's like, no, dude, it's
a little bit of a build-up, but even within season 1, because I rewatched the last 2 episodes the other night, and it's when you're in the middle of season 1, you're like, man, where are they going with this? And even at the end of season 1, you see all the payoffs for even characters you think of as like, oh, we're never going to see this character again. But then they kind of bring everything back. So I would say like at the barrier of entry, like there are some episodes in the moment you might not like really of like, what are we doing here? But I think with the storytelling and how they're able to bring stuff back, no, I do. And even seeing some of the kind of end for some characters that I didn't quite remember, I was like, God damn, this is a kid show. That's surprising.
Exactly, man. So hey, let's take it into the worlds of reality. Live action Ahsoka, baby. Ooh. Kev, you ready to hit play on this baby? Damn, yeah.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
Oh, those sets.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
I got chills again.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
I like this different take on music.
My girl, Hera!
That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one.
My mama, baby.
I could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet you were
Oh my God.
It's crazy
Highway
seeing them real, dude.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me,
Oh,
Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut.
yo, this is crazy.
Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
Love a good woo.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain.
Whoa.
You have no power.
Dude.
He spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
David
Once a
Tennant.
rebel, always a rebel.
Man. Yo, I had chills for a majority of that trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I can't believe this is becoming reality. There's so much that like to dig in here with just who are these dark-sided Jedi? What's going on with Sabine training to possibly be a Jedi, having her own
green saber?
Seemingly having her own saber. Maybe that's a different character saber. We'll have to, wait to find out all of that. But yeah, I'm really excited. Thrawn looks a little weird with the live action red eyes and stuff like that. But I'm excited for him to come back, and I'm interested to see how this all comes to a head with. After the era of, the Empire, we're getting into the early stages of the New Republic, and, how Thrawn's gang is all trying to fight against that. Seeing Lothal live action in those goofy, just like very simplistic hideaways in the middle of nowhere is insane, and I absolutely adore it.
Adapting like a cartoon
Yeah.
to live action results in some of those things, which I
Yeah.
think is really funny. But I love the commitment.
A lot of that stuff was taking a lot from like the early concept art from like the original movie, and so it's like really cool to see of like a show that was taking like visual inspiration from like the original concept art to then finally be put into live action is really, really neat. But yeah, I loved this.
Yeah, I can't wait to go frame by frame because there is a lot here. But yeah, I think that this is really exciting. What we're seeing here gives me hope that this is going to be on the higher side of these Disney Plus projects, both Star Wars and otherwise. But also with Filoni being like the driving force on this one, and it being Ahsoka, the baby, the chosen one. I feel like we're going to get a lot of. They're going to put everything they can into this. I mean, we're getting Thrawn. Like they're going for this is the heir to the Empire, like all that stuff, like air. We're going to get that. The build up to these movies, right? So it's like I feel like they're like, yo, this one's gonna matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, we're gonna take a quick word from our sponsors, and when we get back, we're gonna go through this thing frame by frame. This episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs make you look good. Bird Dogs stretch khaki shorts are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. They fit way better than regular shorts that are made of a stiff, restricting cotton. Bird Dogs use anti-stink, sweat-wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. I've been going down to the heat of Los Angeles with Gia a lot recently, and I've been loving the breeze thanks to my Bird Dogs. They got Oxford shorts, khaki shorts, bathing suits, and much, much more. My favorites are the Art Farts Knockers, and it's not just because of the name, it's because of the blue. But hey, the name doesn't hurt at all. Art Fart Knocker, come on. Go to birddogs.com/kindafunny or enter code kindafunny for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. That's birddogs.com/kindafunny or use the promo code kindafunny for a free Yeti style tumbler. birddogs.com/kindafunny. Promo code kindafunny. All right. Let's start from the beginning.
So yeah, we opened up, I believe, on one of these Empire shuttles closing in on. Interestingly, I forget what type of ship that is, but I think we've seen it used. I want to say Last Jedi is where we saw it, like that ship.
Well, kind of has that like the Mon Calamari ship design from
you're
Return
right.
of the Jedi.
And I'm
not
sure
quite,
we've
but, like,
seen it.
the more circular design of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure we've seen it somewhere in like original trilogy stuff. Like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm trying to remember like the last time we've actually seen something like that. And so yeah, we see this Empire shuttle coming in. I assume what we see next in the trailer are these dark-sided Jedi. I think that's what they've said, is that they're not entirely Sith, that they might have been a part of the Jedi Order, which is interesting. Or maybe I believe that is I forget the actor's name.
The one that just died.
Yeah, who recently passed. I think Ray Stevenson.
Yes,
if I'm
that's right.
Okay. He seems old enough. His character seems old enough to have been around for the Jedi Order, but whoever his ward is here doesn't seem like that.
Because
Obviously,
specifically, this timeline-wise would take place during the Mandalorian era.
Yeah,
right?
so this is-
Return of
yeah,
the
this
post
is-
Jedi, 7 years ish.
yeah, we're roughly 6-7 years after Return of the Jedi. So at this point, Order 66 is like we're coming up on like 30 years ago at this point in this show, right? And so maybe she was a very small youngling, but we have seen in other stories of Jedi during the time of the Old Republic who get sent out on assignment and kind of recruit their own Padawans without like fully bringing them back to the Jedi Order. So maybe there's something similarly going on here. I wonder what their mission is, especially if they're possibly not fully Sith, of like what their connection to like Thrawn is, and like because they don't seem to be Inquisitors, which is interesting.
See later.
We see a lightsaber later that is very similar to what or maybe exactly what the type of lightsabers that the Inquisitors used. So like I'm really interested, because if they were part of the Empire and part of the Inquisitors, it would make sense of like, oh, we know this dude Thrawn, who's a part of the Empire. Like it sounds like he's trying to build something back up. We fuck with him. Let's go help him out. But if they weren't really a part of like that whole hierarchy within the Empire, I wonder what their whole like motive is here to try to either help him, seek him out. Maybe they're also trying to fuck up his stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, and so here we do have him on Calamari, right on the left side there, and like kind of in the outfits that we see a lot in this era of these shows, right? We've been seeing this a lot in Mando season 3.
Yeah, a lot of the New Republic kind of get up, and
seeing the X-wing back there. It is still the same style. Like it's the more classic style of X-wing, not the one with just the one turbine on each side that we see in the Force Awakens and things like that.
So yeah, we see they're hunting someone down, or maybe they're just taking out this entire ship for Thrawn, or maybe someone is imprisoned on here that they might be trying to get out. We've seen that a little bit of since the Empire, or the remnants of the Empire, are trying to ramp up to kind of fully step out from the shadows. There was Giancarlo Esposito's character in Mando season 3, Moff Gideon, who was broken out. So maybe there's something similarly going on here with a different Thrawn kind of pawn here. I don't know.
Thrawn pawn. Yeah, I love this. Obviously, very reminiscent of A New Hope and of Rogue One, of having this type of ship, just having someone with a saber going through.
Yeah, and it's interesting of like because they're not fully Sith, right, Kevin? If you go and like just show get to a shot of one of their lightsabers here. It didn't seem like fully red, which I found interesting. There seems to be, or maybe my eyes are just messed up from staring at screens way too much lately. It seems a little bit more of a tint of orange in there as well, not the fully like
interesting
kind of
there.
deeper red like that we see with like Vader, and maybe it like when we get later on in the trailer where we see the Inquisitor lightsaber. Yeah, I find that interesting, and maybe that's like just like a visual cue to be like, hey, they're dark-sided, but they're not Sith. Right, and so that'll be interesting to see where they go with that. Man,
you're right. There's definitely like more of an orange vibe on both of those.
Yeah, I wonder what that means thematically. Probably nothing. Mace Windu just got a purple lightsaber because he's fucking Samuel L. Jackson.
Cool, man. SLJ.
So yeah, obviously, we saw this shot. I think from the first trailer, it seemed like Ahsoka was finding another maybe hidden Jedi temple or something of that nature. And so, yeah, our girl's out there trying to find out, maybe looking for advice from, old Jedi temples of like how to handle the uprising of Sith or dark side of kind of taking over the galaxy again.
Because we know at this point, and I mean, I guess we don't technically know that this is the furthest in the timeline that we've had, but it kind of feels that way. Actually, we do, because of just the way the Thrawn's being dealt with, of how they talked about him in Mando season 3, where he's out there.
Yeah.
But we know Ahsoka and Luke have known each other for
Right.
a while, it feels like. And
maybe
he is building that school up, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if she's like maybe like not like fully involved in like his little school, but like maybe she's like, yeah, I'm gonna scope some things out, maybe like pass on some knowledge, and then like on the entire flip side here, we seem to have what seems to be kind of like a dark side, a kind of like temple thing going on here.
Here's the question, and we'll get there in a second.
Oh no, don't tell me, Tim.
But is this Exegol? God. Right? It kind of looks like it has the same vibe. And then later we see red-looking trees.
That was a different planet. That's where Kylo Ren found the Wayfinder, which wasn't
right.
a.
But this looks like Exegol. It also looks like the one.
I like their ship. It looks like a little turtle with wings on it.
It's the brief flashback we got to the Knights of Ren, right? In fucking Force Awakens, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe Last Jedi. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, this could be the beginning. Do we know? I guess I'm not as familiar, and maybe there is a story already out there of how the Knights of Ren were truly founded. I feel like it was the modern iteration were inspired by like a more very old group, and so maybe this is like the beginning of the Knights of Ren and the very like early iterations of it. I have no idea, but that'd be interesting.
Look,
and like this is the thing is like I yell no, I cringe a little bit when we hear Exegol, but that's the thing is that we know that Filoni has unfortunately been tasked with time and time again of telling his own stories while trying to contextualize them in the greater world of Star Wars and try to enhance some of the movies out there that might not be great. So yeah, it seems like we might be finally getting to the time of like, all right, we got to contextualize all of the weird decisions from the sequel trilogy, and hopefully it can pay off in ways that doesn't feel weird and out of nowhere.
Seeing this, it's happening, dude.
Yeah,
All right, lock it the fuck in. Like to some extent, I do know that there are comic series in the modern iteration that do cover the Knights of Ren's more origin stories. They play a little fast and loose with comics though, but they try to maintain. But even then, I feel like we are seeing something of that here. But
yeah, especially like with it's not like as intricate as their armor, but like his. And even his Padawan or whatever you want to call her, like their armor feels like a very first iteration of what they wear later. Obviously, we see, I forget what they called her in Mando season 2, but this woman here was, kind of ruling over that town. That was the first episode that we saw Ahsoka in live action in Mando season 2.
Oh,
and she was the one who had. I believe she had
the spear.
Yeah,
the Beskar spear.
She had the Beskar spear, and she was like the first one that we heard Ahsoka ask, "Where's Thrawn?" So obviously she's in the crew. Maybe she's actually like that would make sense because of Mando season 2. I imagine she probably got arrested or caught by the New Republic somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if this is these two. Oh, galaxy brain moment. So our Sith Lorded Jedi back here are sent on a mission to get one of Thrawn's pawns back, and we find out that where Thrawn has been hiding out is none other than Exegol. I could see
make
it.
sense.
Yeah,
but I mean also here, the red trees.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Some hidden base where Thrawn's hiding out. Is the whole is Thrawn part of the cloning plan of the Emperor and Snoke and all that stuff? Yeah. Who knows? Because even like in Mando season 3, we saw a little bit of infighting. A lot of like the lieutenants kind of doing their own thing. Giancarlo Esposito kind of working on cloning stuff.
His own thing, yeah,
and like some other missions here and there. So that'll be interesting to see like where that all comes together. And as we see here, they're looking at some star map here. Maybe, and again, this is a big maybe here. Maybe this is because the clouds here seems way too light even for Exegol. I know that was a very like dark and cloudy place, but it was much more stormy. And so I wonder if this is like a temporary place to find a even more secretive place to start up the new era of the Empire. Maybe this is like a map where they're kind of like looking out for like, oh, maybe Exegol like over here is like a good place to go. So
one of my biggest like upsetting moments of my life is how, while still very hype, how underwhelming the everyone is here moment from Rise of Skywalker is when fucking Lando calls in and like Poe's like pulling up and he's like, they're here. And they all
I do
pull
love
in,
the
and
moment
music
where
hits
it's
and they're
like
hyperspace.
they don't have a fleet, and then it's like, it's just people. Like that's a great. They didn't earn it, but it's a great line.
It could have been so good, but all right, whatever. It was fine.
As we see more of our dark-sided Force users here, also probably the same ship where they're just killing everybody.
So something I want to point out is that the amount of homages that we're seeing in this, frame-wise at least, to things that we've seen before, or at least recently, that I feel like that have been kind of referenced over and over. So earlier in this trailer, we saw the Sith-ish guy going through the hallway, very Rogue One, Vader-esque.
Yeah.
We also saw a very similar thing with Luke returning in Mandalorian Season 2, same framing. This shot right here looks exactly like the shot of Luke with Grogu in the elevator.
Oh, see, I was gonna like even more similarly to Empire, in Bespin, where it's like you have that like kind of specific elevator look, which is cool.
But like this, what she's just doing here, coming out the elevator and just fucking doing this shit, it's like that's essentially exactly Mando. And I know it's not the most complicated thing, but I do think that her coming into the bridge of a ship is like...
Yeah, show me New Republic fleets here. Yeah, this is so interesting with these are the B-Wings, right, I believe. I love seeing that because, we've only gotten like kind of small glimpses at like how the New Republic operates in this era of Star Wars. So
poorly.
Poorly.
Really poorly.
So I'm interested to see like how it all works on a greater scale. Obviously, Hera's a part of it. Slight spoilers for Rebels. So, it is mentioned that Hera, is a part of the rebellion. She was on the where does the final battle take place in Return of the Jedi? Endor. She was on the Battle of Endor. That it was said, and so it seems like has a greater place in at least like a fleet in some way, shape, or form, which makes sense. And it'll be interesting to see like how dedicated to their cause she is. Does she have to like leave her duties of the New Republic to kind of like go off on this adventure with Sabine and Ahsoka? I love that. I forget what this smaller ship is, but this is like a smaller ship that's attached to the Ghost, which is their bigger ship that like can kind of like spin off and like be its own little thing. And as we see, Choppers on the side, our nice big boy who smoked at least 40 packs of cigarettes each day. Fun little fact for you, Tim. I don't know if you knew this. Voiced by Dave Filoni.
Very cool. Very cool.
And so, I'm excited to see live action Chopper be absolutely chaotic, neutral. Even though he's fighting for the side of good, he doesn't give a shit about anybody really.
I get it.
He's a chaotic little boy, and I can't wait for people to fall in love with him who haven't like really gotten attached to Rebels. So,
Kev, can you go back just a couple shots there to the space fight that we got going a little ahead of this? Very video game-esque here with this ship in front of them. That is the most fucking shoot the target.
Yeah, like whatever. Either shoot the target or like get it like off of like whatever this cargo ship is. Very good stuff there. I love it.
All right, so let's see. We got...
Yeah, and so, like I'm interested. Like I imagine this is the kind of high council of the New Republic, as we know. I believe from comics and books, like Leia Organa is not a huge part of it because she gets canceled for secretly being a Skywalker, and her father being attached to the Empire in a major way. So I imagine this is a look at the early iteration of the leadership of the New Republic. It'll be interesting to see how Mothma does in that role.
Again, poorly.
Yeah, poorly, and like we know that the New Republic kind of gets, just kind of destroyed in the very first new trilogy movie, and so I'm excited to see at least because they have at least planted the seeds of like, hey, the New Republic. It's all smiles and butterflies and rainbows and stuff, but there's like some undertone here, things here that are like not okay, like with the weird kind of brainwashing stuff that they're doing back on Coruscant and all these little things that seem easily for enemy factions to kind of sneak into and break from within. So,
and I'm really excited about this because Mon Mothma and Genevieve O'Reilly's performance in these more recent things has been one of my favorite things that we've gotten from this era of Star Wars. And I love that she's there through every era, right? Like we see her in the prequel trilogy and Revenge, and then we get the follow-up in Andor where she kicked ass, and we get the deepest dive into her with the culture of Coruscant and like not just
being
the
a senator
underbelly,
in the time of the
but even the
Empire.
fashion, and even seeing her here wearing like her more kind of gaudy type stuff that we see them really like dive into a lot in Andor. I'm excited to see where it all places because all of them look fancy as hell.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So
they seem like some rich motherfuckers.
It's really, I think, representative of the New Republic's attitude at this point. With I forget the guy's name, but the main actor that we see as like the Kim's Convenience guy.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Who's like essentially the face of the New Republic to us as a pilot, at least, and how he interacts and fits in with all this is really interesting. While the brainwashing and stuff's going on,
right? And then of course Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who's playing live action Hera, which is awesome as hell. We don't see, and again, slight spoilers. We don't see a child around, but I'm interested to see if we ever get any little tidbits of her kid, which was alluded to at the end of Star Wars Rebels. So I wonder if there's even like a battle within that. Do they go on the adventure, or does she have to leave them behind? That'll be interesting. And as we see, it might be the first time Ahsoka and her are meeting up for first time in a bit. So. And I believe that ship is the same ship. Kev, you can keep playing, Kev, but I believe this ship that Ahsoka's riding around on might be the same one as the...
pause it there.
Yeah, go back to the highway really quick. The same one that we see from the Clone Wars where the younglings are... we see an episode where the younglings go to get their kyber crystals from Ilum. And then I believe that might be the same ship that they ride back on to create their lightsabers. And the droid that we see with Ahsoka is... Young, I believe is his name, and he's voiced by David Tennant. David Tennant got a Daytime Emmy for his performance of that droid. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. And I find it interesting that he's back for whatever reason. And then, as we see here, Sabine has kind of taken over Ezra's old spot on Lothal.
Which is so cool.
She's down bad. She's very sad that her boy Ezra is no longer around. I love, the
helmet.
like, the helmet with the Lothal cat on it, and like the kind of whenever Sabine draws does a painting in Star Wars Rebels, the show, it is like very much that like 2D, that specific style, and I love that they're keeping that tone for the live action.
She looks
really
great,
cool.
dude.
Yeah, this is so fucking rad, and it's interesting of like what is the journey that Ahsoka's going on? Is it really the search for Ezra, or is it more of like, hey, this guy that we fought a lot in years past with Thrawn, that was a main pain point for Ezra. And if you want to truly carry on what he did for us, even though Ezra may be gone in some way, shape, or form, this guy that he sacrificed everything for against is back. And so to carry on his legacy, we got to fight Thrawn, right? So I wonder if that's probably the inner turmoil Sabine's going through of actually wanting to get back into that fight. It's interesting that she's seemingly being trained as a Jedi Padawan.
Hey, I'm fucking in, baby.
Not the first time
awesome.
We've seen Sabine with a lightsaber. Very interesting to see if that's her own lightsaber or if that's someone else's lightsaber. But yeah, Sabine has been one of the carriers of the darksaber, and so she's got a little bit of like combat training. But as far as I remember, she's not like a Force user. So I wonder what that relationship is in there. If her calling Ahsoka Master is a little bit more tongue in cheek, it'll be interesting to see like how that relationship plays out. I love this like kind of like very, I don't even know what to like, almost retro looking. It looks like R2D2, like the first wave of R2D2 droids, where they couldn't like quite get his eye right, and so they had to make it like
That's
weird
funny.
and bulbous. I love that design though. That's cool. Yeah, that's where she calls Ahsoka Master. Looking back at the final message from Ezra from Star Wars Rebels. I don't know if it's word for word. I would have to go back and kind of see it frame by frame or kind of play it side by side. But yeah, seeing the final message from Ezra there. Good voice for Ezra too. That was like I almost thought it was the original voice actor for Ezra. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, then we get this kind of hair cutting moment. She's ready to kind of let go and go on this journey with Ahsoka.
A very I forget the name of that, but like the her on her knees cutting the hair, very symbolic moment there, and like we get the pain.
I think in typical kind of storytelling moments, that's kind of used to. I think it's like. Almost a moment of shame. I don't know if that's going to be the same thing here, or not shame. That's not the right word, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if that's like the same kind of moment for her, like emotionally, of kind of letting go and cutting her hair. But yeah,
looking more like her Rebels look.
Yeah, right? Yeah. She never grew out her hair that long in Rebels. But yeah, we got the classic white lightsabers from Rebels here with Ahsoka, which is awesome. And then yeah, we do see a helmeted red lightsaber. It's hard to tell in this shot if it's red orange or if it's just red. It looks like there's a bit of orange there, but
it does.
It's also daytime, so it's interesting. But that lightsaber there has the more circular kind of hilt with the
Inquisitor.
Yeah, with what we associate
and
with
even
the
their
Inquisitors.
Outfits, right?
Yeah.
It's way more Inquisitor looking than the Knights
It
of Ren.
seems like more of a combo of like what the Inquisitors look like and a little bit more of that old school armor vibe that the Knights of Ren have. I also love that I think we talked about this in the first trailer of like this kind of like shipyard of Empire ships, so that's rad. And of course the painting from the end of Star Wars Rebels. Flying around the Ghost, which is also always a great time.
I always love the cockpit shots of them.
And is this a fucking space whale?
It's a fucking space whale, dude.
I think it's the space whale.
Get
And
that whale,
I think like
baby.
later on, Kev, like in a couple of frames, like you see like they're kind of like long like tentacles.
Yeah.
We're getting
They're
fucking
doing it,
live action space whales, which we got teased with in Mando season 3, where Grogu saw them in hyperspace. Which lore bit. There are space whales and they can travel through hyperspace. They're pivotal to Star Wars Rebels, and so that'll be interesting to see if they are key to finding some certain characters, maybe Thrawn, maybe somebody else.
A lot of classic Star Wars, them wearing other people's outfit type stuff, right? We see Ahsoka wearing some more rebellion looking like that blue a couple shots ago, and then here we get Sabine in very Imperial looking clothes.
Yeah. Which might actually just be like her under like shirt of like from her Mandalorian armor. But yeah, here we go. We've got the big boy.
So blue.
Thrawn here. Eyes are weird. The red eyes against the blue skin are very weird, but maybe it'll grow on me. But I'm excited to have
this is what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a blue guy with red eyes, guys.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And then past here, I don't know if there's too much else. It seems like that might be the same planet with the trees. Maybe where Kylo Ren found the Wayfinder. Maybe like one of the stories is them leaving the Wayfinder here. I know we see Sabine like kind of holding out her hand, which like symbolizes like trying to use the Force. Maybe there's something there. That'll be an interesting kind of left turn, I feel like, for her character, but we'll see.
So I'm stuck on these red leaves. I don't know why. But also look at her shoulder pad thingies, right? That seems to be the exact same ones we were just talking about. But with her with the mask on, it seems.
Yeah. Good call. Good eye there. I like that she's got the little kind of
the
side
rat tail.
pony. Yeah, the rat tail.
She's an apprentice.
She's an apprentice, man. I love it. So yeah, we've got Sabine with a green lightsaber here. Ezra had a green lightsaber. So again, I'm interested to see if this is an original Sabine lightsaber, or if this is something that she was able to find in the aftermath of Rebels. Ahsoka seemingly finding the kind of like Sithy looking area where they have the map pulled up, talking to Ray Stevenson's character. It seems like they've got some makeshift kind of tech going on there. Maybe like trying to make a small home base to figure out like the location of Exegol, possibly if that's the case.
Glare, but that kind of looks like a statue of Ahsoka. But
oh yeah, no, it's just like a weird shape, but yeah, it is kind of it is reminiscent to her kind of head. Yeah, nice old lightsaber battle here.
Sick.
Yeah, David Tennant, there he is. There's that man, Emmy Award winning. Sabine in her classic get up, it seems. I wonder who this other person that Ahsoka's fighting here that I think is here as well. Maybe that's Ray Stevenson's character. It's kind of hard to tell.
Tinier, but
yeah, like smaller in stature. Yeah.
Yeah, go forward a bit to this next battle.
Yeah, this battle here, because we saw this kind of. They almost look droid-like, but that doesn't seem right. Maybe it's Sabine? No. Yeah, the helmet's like a little too like. It's a very specific shape. It reminds me of the Pike helmet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that seems like a droid, so that'll be interesting to see if that's like just a sick ass like lightsaber wielding droid that they have on hand. We've seen that in the past before and stuff like Star Wars Force Unleashed. That'd be cool if they like kind of brought that in for this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Classic
cool.
use of the Inquisitor kind of lightsaber here, so that'll be interesting. And yeah, that helmet right there, less Inquisitor vibes, more Knights of Ren kind of vibes.
Yeah, definitely.
Huh. All right.
But like the shoulder pads here very much look like Ray Stevenson's from earlier.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I imagine this is him. But
we'll have to wait and see.
Very interesting.
A lot of cool stuff here. It's kind of weird because there's so much, things that I'm ready for of the story kind of following up Rebels, but there's so much, like I said earlier, of them trying to contextualize it all now in this era of the New Republic, possibly building up to the sequel trilogy in subtle ways and not so subtle ways. And so I feel like there's only so much I can extrapolate out of this, but either way, I'm really excited here. And this feels very Forest of Ilum kind of vibes here.
Yeah,
with Rey and Kylo Ren at the end of Force Awakens.
A lot of vibes of that throughout this trailer as well. But I love this. We see Ahsoka kind of like waiting for the moment, and then she like strikes into the Anakin pose.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty tight.
And that lightsaber seems to be a little bit more classic red, but again, maybe the lighting and stuff is just playing tricks on me. But there you go.
Well, there you go.
Star Wars Ahsoka. In like less than 2 months, which is insane.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be great. We're going to be doing our weekly screencast breakdowns. I cannot wait to have Carbonian Sage join us to talk about all of that. I can't wait to finally have to finish Rebels. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm excited for you.
It's going to be good. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about that. And until next time, love y'all.